Gentlemen, on today's episode of the Expression Show, we had the honor of introducing a true luminary in the music and entertainment industry by the name of Greg Garvin. With the extraordinary career that spans across various roles, Greg's expertise and influence have made a significant impact. As the executive producer for Kitchen Talk, the podcast, and Tracks and Tales on Fox Soul, Greg has been at the forefront of innovative content creation and storytelling. His work and as an A&R consultant of 1 RPM, working with artists such as Jim Jones, Mano, and Bobby Schmurder, showcases his unparalleled talent in talent scouting and artist development. Greg's commitment goes beyond music, extends to the brand development and identity. His meticulous approach ensures that the artists he works with not only sound great, but also have a unique and powerful presence in the industry. Residing in the vibrant landscapes of New York, Greg is uniquely positioned to navigate the ever evolving music and entertainment scene. His dedication to preserving and representing culture correctly is a guiding principle in everything he does. Join us as we talk about Greg Garvin's exceptional career, his insight into the industry, and the passions that fuels his creative journey. Welcome, Greg, to the Expression Show, man.
Oh man, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. That's like a great intro. Made me feel real special, man.
Yeah. This is the Expression Show. This is real, man. This is about you. So we wanna. This is what the show is all about. It's not about no mess, none of that mess. It's about actually expressing ourselves and expressing, showing this expression. So. And I want to get that out there. Like when I talk about people, I want them to really express who they are and express themselves really in the, you know, a full in the fullness. So um, you had experience as an executive. You had experience as an executive producer for the Kitchen Talk and podcast and Tracks and Tales on Fox Soul. Can you tell us about the highlights and challenges of working in the television podcast production?
Um, yeah, I mean, let me. It was my first time with Kitchen Talk and Tracks and Tales, right?
Mm,
Um, I never really produced content for TV, which if you produce other things, music videos, stuff for YouTube, television is different, right? Television is segments. It's if you're producing an hour-long content, it's 5 segments. And in those five
right.
segments, you got to contain as much information. You got to provide as much entertainment within those 5 segments to keep people coming back after the commercial,
Right.
which is a total different world for me. And the quality of what you're delivering to television is totally different, right? YouTube is more free world. It's more, you do what you do best. But with television is a commercial driver, right? It's an ad buy. You're doing content that has to be sold to Home Depot, that has to be sold to Pepsi, that has to be sold to Doritos, right? Because networks need those brands to stay alive, right? So
Mhm.
it's a little bit different.
Right.
It was for me challenging at times, um, because you want to stay within your brand, right? You want to deliver things that you stand on and you believe in. So you gotta, you're getting in business with a network. You gotta kind of understand where the network is coming from, right? Because this is a grand opportunity that
Right.
a lot of people in my position don't get. But we worked through it. Two great shows that will be back. They're coming back this winter. So it's a
Okay.
great experience. Thank I gotta thank James Du Bois who gave me the opportunity to do that. You know.
James Du Bois. What can you tell us
So
about
James
him a little bit?
he he was at the time when I got the deal with Fox Soul, he was the president of Fox
Okay.
Soul. So Fox Soul is still under the FX brand, meaning so you got Fox News, you got FX TV. Fox Soul is more of the urban aspect of FX. So James was
Right,
the
right, okay.
president, and we created a relationship, and um, you know, he tapped in and gave me an opportunity to bring content over there. Did a great deal. You know, he looked at it from the new way of doing business, right? He didn't come in and say, I'm buying the show from you, we're gonna do everything. He kind of understood that we wanted to keep ownership, and we looked at it from a business standpoint, right? Because I've seen enough and heard enough to understand that ownership is the key. And he saw that and understood that business model and gave me a great deal along with Mano to do something that allowed us to retain ownership um, while getting this opportunity. So got to thank him a lot for that. And now he just
Okay,
started
okay,
a Black network too. So
okay.
go.
Bet, bet. So as an A&R consultant, you work with Jim Jones and Mano, Bobby Schmurder and all those, more. Actually, can you share your approach to talent scouting and artist development?
Mm. Yeah, and it's funny, right? Because Jim Jones and Mano, I always feel like in hip hop, right? We're learning because it's still new. Right? Hip hop is 50 years old.
Right,
There's
right,
a reason why we still have to keep a Jim Jones and a Mano making new music. Not only because they're legendary, but to be able to stand the test of time, right? Music changes every day, right? The sound
mhm,
changes every week. The
right,
landscape changes every month. But there's a need to make sure that the legends have a place. And working with Jim and Maine for the Lobby Boys project, it was something that New York needed, but it was something that the music business needed. These were two guys that were at one point at odds, and to come together at a later age and show that grown men can put their past and
right,
go do
right.
business. That's important, right? That's something that the young kids got to understand. Don't kill
Yeah,
yourself or kill
that's a
each other.
very important. Like, no,
Yeah,
not to cut you off, and that's a very important thing. Part of it is development and artist development. I look at it more like as like character too, like developing character, not just so much as developing your skills in the studio or as just a music artist. It ain't. It's more than that to me. It actually goes farther than that. But go ahead.
nah,
Sorry about
totally
that.
agree. And that's what I look for. I look for characters, right? Because I'm in the business of entertainment, right? Um,
Yep. Yeah.
you could do music at any given time. There's no restrictions on doing music, but there are restrictions on being an entertainer. See, as an entertainer, your job is now to entertain the public, right? So we got to understand there's a difference. I'm in search of characters because characters are entertaining. So when I'm looking at from an A&R perspective, I'm looking at the character. I'm looking at
Right.
if
Right.
you put this person in front of a group of people, how many people in that room are going to want to buy what this character is selling? And it's deeper than music. It's the
Yeah.
clothing, it's the lifestyle, it's the cars, it's everything about that, right? Um, so I take A&Ring from the character perspective, right? Like, and trust me, I'll probably get dragged because people will be like, "Well, yo, what about the guys that do the music?" But that's do music, right? There's something for everybody. But when you sign an agreement in the music business, you're signing an agreement to entertain people. That's just the business of this. You can do music for anyone and everyone. But again, when you're doing business with a company that's coming in to market and promote and put money behind an artist, it's because they're paying you for the entertainment sector of your artistry. So again, if I'm looking at it, I'm looking at characters. I'm looking at this part of the artist where, yeah, they're great. They can rap, they can sing, they can do, but what is this character? Because you can be the most talented person, but not be the most entertaining person.
Well, you know what? Actually, you basically you going in actually to this next question already some anyway. But I was just
Hmm.
to sum that up, so we can knock both of those out the way. Is that what's it how do you go about helping the artists shape their brand identity and the sound? Like, how do you go about shaping their identity and sound?
I mean,
You know,
so each artist that I work with, it's always a period of me getting to know them. I can't work with an artist if I don't know you. I gotta know where you from. I gotta know your lifestyle. I gotta know your background. I gotta know, the whole story, right? Because I'm one to pull from the story, right? Because I come from storytelling and the branding aspect of it, right? So for me to help you
right,
is for
right,
me to know you. That's how I can help you. I gotta know you. You know,
right,
I just watched an interview Lior did with on Drink Champs, and one of the most significant parts of that interview is he was telling a story about Warren G. And Warren G, if you don't know, he's the one that really saved Def Jam. And Warren, before he signed his deal, Lior wanted to know who Warren G was. He went to Warren G's house, and he was telling the story about when he was in Warren G's house. He said the place was like crazy because he had a bunch of dogs like running around like pit bulls. The LA
hmm,
culture. He had
yeah,
a bunch of pit bulls running around, and then it was like disheveled, right? And then he stepped into the next room, which was Warren G's studio, which was immaculate. And Lior
right,
knew right then and there he wanted to sign Warren G. But it's him seeing this is his lifestyle, but this is his business. You see how he
right.
separated the rooms. The room of lifestyle and culture was in one room, but the room of business was immaculate. He had to
Yeah,
see that.
exactly. Yeah,
And then if you look at the story, fast forward it, Warren G saves Def Jam. Just he knew the
yeah. I
artist.
never,
He
I
knew
never
they
knew
were.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
know that. I was
You know,
watching something on him the other day, on the YouTube. He was talking about this about out there in Death Row, you know, and stuff.
mm,
But yeah, but that's another story on that one. But you living in New York, you exposed to a dynamic music and entertainment scene, and how has your location influenced you, in your work and projects you've been involved in?
I mean, yeah, New York is my kind of blueprint, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm a kid, I'm give my age where I'm 46, right? So I grew up. Hip hop was alive and moving for 4 years prior to my birth. So it's the soundtrack of what has developed me, right? So you know, I don't think I would be who I am or would do what I do if I wasn't from New York, right? It gives me the energy, right? I can literally go outside and get inspiration just from my city. I can pull from memories of my city. Um, so yeah,
Mhm.
it's definitely it's the thing that gets me going. It's the place that I pull from and kind of give everybody a piece of when I'm working with artists, right? Like it's certain things in New York, whether it's the food, it's the texture of the streets, it's to me it's like an art place, right? I grew up in the 80s and the 90s and great musical times, some of the greatest musical legends that came here, that Puff era, the Andre Harrell era, the Russell Simmons, the Jay-Z, like just being here is inspiration. Being
Right.
from here is shit. It's everything you want it to be. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not to knock
Yeah.
anywhere else. What you
No, but
pull from.
no, I know what you mean. Every place got its ups and downs. We know that.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Most definitely. That's all. That's a place I always wanted to move. But then people like, you know, as I got older and older, it's like people start. Like, hey, well, it costs a lot of money. This or that, a lot of stuff. We can't hardly move. We can all types of stuff. And I understand that what I mean. I know, but I understand that. And
Yeah, you figure it out.
but
Yeah, it's super expensive, but
yeah,
I think
crowded. You know what I'm saying?
it's
All that other
crowded,
stuff and all
but
that.
that makes up the chemistry.
Right,
You
right.
know,
I think I could roll with it. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying?
hey man, they
So
say if you can make
yeah,
it here, you can make it anywhere.
yeah. I definitely believe I can roll with that.
That's
I
what's up.
think I think it's the opposite, man. To be honest with you, I think it's if you make it here from where I'm at, you can make
Well,
it
where you
anywhere.
from?
I'm from Capital, Michigan, Lansing.
Oh,
Named after Lansing, New York. Actually,
man,
that's what they named it.
look,
Yeah.
that's a rough area. You're
Oh
right.
yeah, man.
If you could make it there, you can definitely make it anywhere.
Yeah, I'm in my hood right now, man. I'm in hood. I grew up still on the same side of town and able, but on a different side of, what I mean, just being able to go down a different path though now, going out, doing my thing, trying to do something, and
That's what's up.
make something happen, man, you know,
That's what's
for my family. But I got these some ain't gonna be too much longer, man. Uh,
now you good.
but these some good questions, and you've been having some real good answers too, man.
Thank you.
See, brand development is a significant part of your expertise.
Hmm.
And can you walk us through the process of building a brand for an artist or project, and why is it so crucial in the music industry?
I mean, I think it's even more nowadays. It warrants more than anything, right? Because in order for you to be financially secure, you can't just rely on the music aspect, right? The brand aspect is where you can generate a lot of your revenue, right? Meaning
Right, right,
people will pay to partner with you based on who you are and how powerful your brand is. And
right,
even when you don't have the hottest single out, or are you doing the biggest festivals, your brand is something that adds an additional value where people will say, look, I want to pay you because your brand is so strong. Me putting this liquor company next to you is going to help catapult the sales for this liquor. Me putting me sneakers on you is going to help sell sneakers. So when you think about it, if you become a brand, you last forever,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
been a bunch of hot records,
A
but you
good
don't even
brand, good
remember who
brand.
made it. But when you got an artist that's a brand, you remember that,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. The content creation plays a vital. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
Skip on. What are some of the key elements you consider when developing a brand's identity,
Mm.
especially in a highly competitive and ever evolving industry like music? If you
I
do, if
think
you
it's
want
one thing, and it's one thing only, and that's personality. I think it's just that. I don't think
that's a
it's
good
no
that's a
trick.
good answer.
I just think
Yeah,
it's personality.
that's a good answer right there because it takes your character is gonna really make
There you go.
depends on what I mean the outcome. Going that's what it's gonna depend on. Your character, how you do it, what your drive is.
That's a
As a
fact.
person, but then uh, content creation plays a vital role in today's media landscape. So what strategies do you employ to create compelling and engaging content that resonates with your target audience?
Hmm. I mean, you know, I fell into the content side of things by default. right? It was because I wasn't dealing with a lot of. There was a period of time where everybody's a videographer, right? Everybody was buying a camera. Everybody has a camera phone, so everybody feels like they can do this thing of creating content, right? So by default, what happens is that I would work with people and what wasn't getting what I really wanted from them. So I became the director then, right? Like just hold the camera here. This is what I want to capture, right? And it's because I knew the importance of this content sells a whole nother aspect of what we're doing, right? Like Kitchen Talk, the content could just be audio, but if you see it visually and the facial expressions and everything that's going on, that content supersedes the visual, right? The visual might lead you to listen and vice versa, right? So I got into this by default. I just wanted to be like, this is how it should look. I don't know how to
That's a tricky
put
question,
stuff
man,
in.
because I'm trying to figure out, like, because that's almost like how they, I think, it's like how they talk about what's that algorithm or something like they be talking about, and then this basically asking almost like, how do you get people to click on your, on your stuff, like,
Yo,
and
you
that's like
so
the secret, like,
it's two parts to that
crazy.
though. But it's because you got to spend money to market and promote, right? That's one thing,
Yeah,
and then whatever you're promoting got to be entertaining. Think
right,
about, would
right,
you sit
right.
down and watch 30 minutes of that? You know what I'm saying? Like without
Yeah,
being
yeah.
biased, would you sit down and watch 30 minutes of this content? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you know what though? I watch a lot of stuff that I came across, and that doesn't have too many plays and everything like that. But it's just like, if it's sitting there and it's sitting there all alone and nobody know anything about it, it's just like it ain't, what I mean, nobody know nothing about it. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
that to me is a to me, I don't want to talk down on no brands, but to me that's the problem. I feel like certain platforms are not doing too well with. I feel like they're selling themselves short, without, by not uh allowing these artists to be, to be out front, what I mean, to have the ability for people to see them, and for them to engage better, with their audience. And that's one of my goals, and to help the artists do, but you know. But back to what you were saying. I mean, I'm talking about the same thing you talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
My bad on that.
You
But
good?
yeah, man. Yeah, I don't like. I want to do interviews where I feel a good interview is where the guest is the one that, the person you're interviewing is allowing the audience to really see who they really are. If, that's not, you ain't getting a good interview if you ain't, so all that,
Nah,
when the
that's a
host
whole
going
fact.
back and forth talking too much, like,
Nah, that's a whole fact. That's what make good community conversations.
yeah, and that's a good interview. I want to hear about the person that the guest that, came in. I want to hear,
Yeah.
about who it is. So, but ensuring only got about few left now. Ensuring the culture is represented and never negotiated improperly. I'm gonna say that again. Ensuring the culture is represented and never negotiated improperly is an important aspect of your work. Can you share some examples of how you've achieved this in like your projects?
Um, I work with a lot of legends to assure this. Right now, I'm working AZ new project. Um, I've done Ghostface. I brought Nivea back. Um, I've done classic Christmas albums, Selena Johnson, Carl Thomas. But I also
Yeah,
work the
yeah.
youth, right? So when I say those names, and the reason why I say those names is because I'm making sure that the legends of yesterday are still known today. That's my way of guaranteeing that the culture is going to be preserved and we're not just throwing people away. We're going to make sure that you know who 10 years from now, you're going to still know a Mano and Jim Jones. 20 years from now, you're going to still know an AZ and a Ghostface, right? Um,
Right,
because a
right,
lot of these companies, a lot of these executives forget about them because they don't see the over the top profit. But there's a reason why we have to make sure that they are given the opportunity to still perform and put out new music and express themselves because we owe them that. That's part of the culture. We owe them because they gave us soundtracks when we were growing up. We owe them that amount. And this shit is dope.
man. You already know, you know, them, you know, they all legends, man. You know, especially all everybody like in from back in the day. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? They just all legends to me.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
they never really gonna go nowhere because of that, just that whole era and just you know the art, just the art form. So, but it's so unique, you know. So,
Yes, sir.
but in your diverse career, what have been some of the most memorable and rewarding moments or projects you've been a part of?
Oh man. Um I mean all of it. Like for me I'm thankful, right? Just to be a part of it, right? Cuz like when you were growing up, just imagine buying the first Wu-Tang record, right? White label protecting that. Fast forward to now working with Ghostface. Being in high school, listening to Nas album and you hear AZ on Life's a Bitch and working with AZ now. Every moment for me is like, man, this is because it didn't have to be this way, right? I could be doing something in life that I'm doing it just because I got to do it for the money type of thing. But I wake up every day and get to do and be a part of something that I love. So every part of this for me is a moment and a memory, right? That I'm thankful to just be here doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's the coolest thing. You know, doing a sneaker with Mano with Feline and growing up buying shell tops because of Run DMC. I'm good. I'm more everything is a blessing, is a moment, is a memory. I can't sit here and
right, right,
narrow down to be one thing because that would be minuscule, right? And would be
right.
unappreciative of the opportunity.
Exactly. We got three more. We got three more to go. Last
Let's
three.
go.
Need some good ones. It's gonna top it off. So as someone deeply involved in the creative process, what are your personal sources of inspiration and motivation that drive your work and projects forward?
Mm.
What
Um.
inspires you and motivates you? You know?
So the one thing I always remember, and it keeps me motivated, right, is that this is what I wanted to do, right? Like I saw growing up watching the award shows and seeing things like Crush Groove, right? And reading. I was a kid that my mother would get the Jet magazine every month, or sometimes it would come out bi-monthly. The first thing I would do, besides look at the beauty of the month, I would look at the record charts to see what records were number 1 through 20 as a kid. And I would pick my music from there, right? Go to the record store, like, yo, this the hottest record. So the thing that motivates me is always remembering that this is the thing that I really wanted to do and I'm doing it. That's the motivation. That's all I need. That's the thing. It's,
Great,
even when I'm like
great.
lost in it and be like, man, this is what you really wanted to do. So even if I'm overwhelmed with work or stressed with it, I'm like, man, this is the thing that you dreamt of doing. You can't complain about it.
What advice would you give to aspiring A&R professionals and brand managers looking to make their mark in the music industry?
Um, Research. And research can be YouTube, it could be Google, it could be LinkedIn, it could be
Right?
Twitter, Instagram. Research.
I hear that.
Look at the people who you see doing what you want to do and research them.
Looking to the future. Last question is looking to the future. What are your goals and aspirations in the music and entertainment industry?
So the goal is to I model my thing after the Black Godfather. God rest his soul. To be able to have an agency or a company that can help us Black entertainers, whether it's hip hop, R&B, whether it's television or film, to be able to bring in these people and help them get to where they need to be. That's what I want.
That's man. You know what? I hope everything worked out with this, man. Because this was a great uh interview right here, man. We
Thank
need
you.
to go. We need to go national with this one, man. They need to throw us on there. You know, hopefully, man. And just to let you know, man. If you wanted, a copy as well, man. I could send you some copies
Yeah,
of it if
please
you
do.
wanted to put you
Definitely.
to. I really hope you do. So that's my goal of us everybody networking like that. We share it. Everybody need to share it.
Hey,
And
that's the only way you're gonna win, man. We gotta share. We gotta help each other.
and that's everybody give it up for Mr. Greg Garvin, man. And
Thank you.
we
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
y'all tuning in. I appreciate you, man, most definitely giving us the opportunity, giving me the opportunity, man. And definitely gonna stay in touch, man. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you, man.
Please do, my
All
brother.
right.
And I appreciate you taking the
Yep.
time out, man.
No problem, man. You have
All
a
right, man.
great one, man. Thank you.
You too. What?